Have you been wondering which of your characters to pair with whom in order to bring out the best in them? Well, I've compiled a few teams that might pique your interest. I'm Shrike, subscribe for more gacha content. Let's dive in. So let's start with the free-to-play team, comprised of only free or 4-star characters. This team consists of Atsi, Ninsar, and Zero. Atsi is just your all-around bonkers free-to-play support, buffer, debuffer. She does it all. Zero has a support part to her kit, but will be your damage dealer for the early game in this scenario. Her damage isn't crazy, but it's respectable, especially with all the buffs that will be flying around. And then you've got Ninsar, who can cast a shield, and is pretty tanky herself. But late game she can be retooled to be a crazy nuke DPS. And the different elements complement each other also, which is just a plus. Next team is what most people will build, since every guide video and every tier list is pushing Licha. And not unjustly either, the man's insane, but he does need some help. First off, he needs a buffer. Once again, Atsi can help out here, but even more than that, he needs a healer, since his whole kit revolves around draining his own health to deal more damage. If you have Logos, use her. She's perfect in the team. If not, then use Asti, the free-to-play healer. Asti's heal is actually superior to Logos, but the healing is all Asti does, unlike Logos, which brings dots and respectable damage. If in fact you didn't pull Licha, but Florence instead, then you've got the second best DPS in the game. She just needs some help dishing it all out. Grab a Zero or an Atsi for that, and throw in a Ninsar for some sustain. If you want to go all in on the Anomaly theme, you'll be happy to know it's definitely doable. You'll want to focus on Hefe in this case, as she's your resident Anomaly unit. The Anomaly team is especially dependent on not having multiples of the same element, because you really want to be popping them all off and activating Overload or whatever it's called. So since Hefe is fire, Florence is unfortunately out, but that leaves other options like Viola or the DPS Ninsar, though you might want to save a slot for Logos as you'll need a healer, and Logos will assist with some dots. Personally, I would take the high risk high reward route of relying on the shields from Ninsar for my sustain, and then grabbing Licha or Wuxi even, because the thing about Dark Anomaly is that you have a small window wherein you need to deal as much damage as possible to make the most of the effect. And Thunder units have very fast attack speed, as well as Thunder Anomaly compounds upon itself, and thus it will also compound upon the Dark Anomaly, if that's active at the same time. This team so far is just theoretical, but I think it's a solid team with some real potential. And lastly, some honorable mentions. Keeping in mind you typically want a DPS, a healer, and a buffer on a team, Atsi can go in any team to serve the buffer role. Logos or Asti can serve the healer role in any team. And Florence or even Viola can serve as a DPS for basically any team. Nana is an off-field sub-DPS that really wants someone else to take the spotlight, so pair her with a heavy hitter. And finally, Zero will eventually be maxed out on all our accounts just from playing the game. And she is a solid unit even at base level, never mind with all the dupes. I wouldn't put her as the main DPS in any team, but she can fill the sub DPS role or the support role in a pinch, though you will lack for a healer in that case. I'm going to continue to research and test these units. There's so many interactions that I'm just scratching the surface of, and I'm sure I missed a bunch of them. But this was just a few to get your brain juices flowing, thinking about certain interactions and synergies. But with that being said, I'm gonna fly. See you in the next one. Bye.